How's it going, guys? Welcome to our first official FIFA 21 video. We're actually on the game today. It's come out with EA Play and all that, and we've seen the market do some pretty good stuff recently. We've seen quite a rise on quite a few cards. So today I'm going to go over some of my favorite sniping filters, as well as who I would like to pick up. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to get onto the web app as I don't have web app access on this account. So I had to start just today. We probably have about 60k total now after placement games, a little bit of trading and flipping, and then I'm holding a few cards for investments as well. We have some other players somewhere stored in the club. So we're going to quickly go over some players that I like to snipe and I like as investments. Now, as far as investments go, you can hold them longer term, or you can kind of just keep them for a short hold if you're not trading and doing, whatever it may be. Keep in mind, these are Xbox prices. PS4 prices I'll try to talk about, but some of them are just a little bit gapped. So first off, for the first investment I do like Lorente. The reason why I like Lorente so much is he's a very, very good card. With this 84 pace, 74 shooting, 79 passing, he's just a very balanced player. But his alternatives, Partey and De Jong, they actually have not skyrocketed as much as people have thought. So this card right now, I'd say, is about 16k. He could be going a little bit lower as of right now. We're having a little bit of a market sell-off, I'd say, as people are kind of, they're seeing prices are very high, and there's not as many people buying yet. But that's because there hasn't been, the whole coin pump hasn't been put into the game. So I expect these cards to continue to rise as we head into the weekend. However, the next one we're going to look at is Emery Chan. Similar to Lorente, very, very balanced stats. This card you can grab for like 10k. I think this is a really, really great choice. And looking at the Bundesliga, some of the other Bundesliga players, there is a lot of these guys who are going for a lot. Like, Bundesliga players are selling for a lot of coins. And I think once, the market catches up, people are going to see that, Bundesliga, the prices are high, and then these other alternatives are going to continue to go up. So keep an eye on that. Next up, I want to talk about some of the other La Liga midfielders. Partey in particular, because as you saw, Lorente is about 18, 17k. De Jong, who's the next alternatives, he's about, I'd say 25, 30k as he continues to go up. Now, Partey's a card that is going for like 15k on a buy now, even less. If we take a quick look here, I believe even less. 12k. So this is huge. This card is very, very cheap. Again, I'm going to try and upload this video right away. But this card is going to continue to rise. I think this is way too cheap for a card that balanced. I think La Liga has a very strong defensive core and midfield. I think these cards are going to continue to rise up as we head into the game. You got cards like Ferland Mendy, and then Diego Carlos and Militao. Militao is extinct right now at 15k. Then you have cards like Valverde, Partey, Lorente, De Jong. These are very good cards to have in your team. And I think, especially with the forwards, Vinicius and stuff, there's a really, really good opportunity for some really nice cards. Obviously, Messi's in the league as well. So I'm really liking La Liga as kind of that underside, or, not underside, but like the more quieter league that's going to actually pick up a lot, because people are going to realize this league is just a little bit too cheap compared to the Prem and, La Liga. I mean, comparing Partey to, I think it's Sissoko. Sissoko is ridiculously expensive right now, I believe. For 79 rated, I believe he's 20-something K. 29, about 25k for 79 Sissoko. So I think with time, these cards in La Liga are going to start to rise up. And again, that brings me to my next investments right here. That is going to be Diego Carlos and Militao, if you could snipe them. Diego Carlos has risen up quite a bit. He has gone from 25k earlier today to 38k. So not too bad at all if people got in. I think there's still room for him to go. I think he will probably end up being like a 50k card. There's not a whole lot of alternatives in La Liga, but I think there's a good chance that we see this card. Militao's extinct at 15k. If you can find, like, if you could snipe this card for, 15k like that, you're gonna end up making a lot of coins when the price range updates. Next up is Kampempei. Kampempei. He is, I believe, still extinct as well at 10k, which is just way too cheap for a card like this. Fairly decent center back. Stats wise, there's not too many alternatives in the, French league, so he should be very good. Again, looking at some other ones, De Jong. De Jong is really good. De Jong last year, he went up pretty high. As far as I remember, I believe he touched like 80 to 100k at some point in the first few weeks. This card a few hours ago was 25k, and now he's up to 47k. Again, this is a card that's going to continue to rise in my opinion. A lot of these cards I called out on Twitter earlier today, which if you're not following, I do recommend. A lot of these cards are already starting to rise back up after the little sell-off that we had. But it's good that cards like De Jong are going up. We saw De Jong, he's up to 45k now. So a card like Lorente, who in my opinion is a little bit better than De Jong's card, honestly. Aside from like dribbling and a little bit of passing, I would choose Lorente over De Jong. That's going to bring those alternatives up as well. So keep an eye on that. You want to hop in these quick. Personally, I think right now the market's probably going to start getting some more buy power into it, because the US and, this western side of the world, it's still early afternoon here, so not a lot of people are out of school and work yet. So I think later this evening, like 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in my time, heading up to midnight in the UK, I think this is when we're going to start to see a huge coin pump get put into the market again. I think we're going to start to see cards just continue to rise up, and will continue to do so into the weekend. However, I think there will start to be a little bit of a flat point, but right now that's not too much of a concern. Some other sniping filters that I like I said, you can snipe any of these cards really. A lot of undercutting is happening on almost every card, and that's because people just want to get coins right away. Lorente was a card, again, I was sniping earlier. We'll take a look at his price real quick. He was a card I was sniping earlier, and I was kind of just flipping them. I was able to find a bunch for, let's say, he's now about 20k, 19k. I was able to get a bunch for, I'd set my filter to like 17k or 16k, and I'd find a few for like 14, 15k, resell right away. Really easy to do. You can do this with every single card. Another card I like is these Team of the Week cards. They are ridiculously going up. I believe Upamecano's card is really going crazy right now. He's got a huge price tag on himself right now. Take a look at the buy now. I want to say he's more than this. Again, so about 75k for this card. This is a little bit ridiculous. I would stay away from a card like this, but look at alternatives. Who is an alternative to Upamecano in the Bundesliga? I think this is a really good price to pick at. And again, it further shows me that that Emery Chan investment I made is probably going to end up being a good one, because looking at the demand for Bundesliga teams right now, you can obviously see that, the demand is there. Another card I do like, and I'm actually surprised that it is as cheap as it was earlier today. I'm not too sure exactly what it is right now, and that is Ansu Fati's inform. I believe that it looks like he probably has gone up. I believe he's fairly cheap though. He's only about 30, maybe less than 30k right now, which I think is a little too cheap for a card like Fati. Obviously, stay away from that gold card. The gold card right now is going to be very high in price because the gold card's not in packs. But you're looking at 24k for an Ansu Fati card. I think this is going to be a really high demand card heading into, early on weekend league and stuff when the first one comes out. And the reason being is this is a big upgrade from his, his gold card. This is a +5 overall because he's only 76. I think this card has a lot of potential to rise, especially when we start to see him leave packs. I don't think I'd invest him right away, but maybe you can pick some up, ride him up a little bit, but I think he's going to fluctuate a lot between 25 to 40k. And then after he leaves packs, I think he's going to go up quite a bit. Other than that, I mean, there's a few more investments you guys could obviously make. A lot of these cards, just look at, just look at who they are. If they have a good league, a good nation, and there seems to be demand, they have good stats and stuff, look to pick them up. The market's generally going to keep rising up. Personally, if I'm trading, I'm looking at these lower rated meta cards because the higher rateds are going to be very expensive. And I really wouldn't trade with them. I mean, take a look at someone like Salah and stuff. The prices are just very, very high, as you can see. 280k, but like I said, as more coins go in, these cards are going to continue to pump up. Salah's price, I'm sure, will actually end up going up even more. I think 250k for a card like this is still just a little bit too cheap. One thing you guys have to keep in mind is inflation is going to happen. There are a lot of coins getting put into the market early on, and it seems as of right now, only the lower rated meta market is starting to really see that, at least some of them anyways. But as more and more coins keep coming into the market and people are starting off, with 50 to 100k right away, you're going to start to see these prices continue to inflate more, which is why I strongly recommend keep a little bit of a trading budget so you can continue to flip cards and stuff. But I highly recommend that you keep your coins in cards, because that way you'll continue to rise up with the inflation of the market. Anyways, that'll wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll answer as soon as I can. And until the next video, peace.